Now to the man. Brown has a lot of contact on Nneka over there on the far side. Brown's going to pull the trigger. And we got more contact down there. And Nneka does not like it, and she is pushed by Quinterly.
First of all, since when is Nneka Ogwumike so gangster? Guys, hello, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva, this is Geneva in General. And guys, last night, again, it was a plethora of WNBA games. I was only able to watch my Chicago Sky versus Minnesota Lynx. I just got done watching the Dallas Wings take on and defeat, guys, the Seattle Storm at the Seattle Storm's arena. We saw Dijonai Carrington enter back into this game. She played like 12 minutes plus, more than 12 minutes in this game. She was able to, put up something, a little bit of something, but really, let's be honest, like, you can tell, like, that rib injury, it possibly more than likely is still taking its toll on her. Again, like, I'm just proud to see her that she's back out there. She's trying, but again, I ain't gonna lie, she was low-key getting cooked in this game. But ultimately, it is what it is. It was what it was because my Dallas Wings came out on top. Okay, the Seattle Storm lost by 63 points. I'm sorry, they lost because they only got 63 points, whereas my Dallas Wings, we got 87 points. Usually Nneka Ogwumike be getting on our nerves, but if it wasn't for her, like in that second quarter, just making those threes, okay, she made a three-pointer in like the last 2.4 seconds, right, in the last of the second quarter, right? That put us down by 2. I believe the score was at 34-36. And then she aggressively began hitting those three-pointers again in the third quarter. Her, Lee Uru, JJ Quinterly, and Paige Beckers showed up and showed out. They did their thing, okay? Also, shout out to, again, Dijonai Carrington. She got back into the game. I'm going to talk a little bit more about her later. And, of course, Nneka Ogwumike. So, in the first quarter, guys, we saw Dallas Wings get 15 points. And the Seattle Storm scored 19 points. Okay, we were behind. We were bad. We were down bad, okay, in that first quarter. Chris Colclanis finally called a timeout because it was an 8-0 run. Okay, the Seattle Storm had 8 points. We had nothing. We had nada. We had zilch on the board. He had no choice but to call out a timeout at that point, right? The second quarter comes around, we do better. Okay, the Wings, we scored 19 points, and the Seattle Storm scored 17 points. The third quarter, guys, the Wings was coming up again. Even Tierra McCowan was, moving and grooving. The third quarter, we scored 32 points. The Storm only scored 15 points. Now, again, mind you, the Storm did not have, of course, guys, the Seattle Storm did not have Skylar Diggins, almost said Smith, no longer Smith. Okay, she was out, not due to injury, but due to personal reasons, okay, whatever that may entail. So, again, they did not have that little firecracker out there, okay, which I'm more than sure was to the Seattle Storm's detriment, right? Because with Skylar Diggins, she usually puts up 10, 12, 14 plus points easily, even 20 plus points, right? The fourth and final quarter comes around. The Dallas Wings, we scored 21 points. The Storm was only able to score 12 points. Now, mind you, they still had Nneka. They still had Gabby Williams. They had Zaya Cook out there. She was trying to get some minutes. They had Lexi Brown, etc., etc. Now, again, Lee Uru, guys, used to play for Seattle Storm. Okay, she used to also play alongside none other than freaking Lexi Brown at the Seattle Storm and at the LA Sparks. Again, Lee Uru was talking about how, she kind of was getting bullied low-key by Lexi Brown because of she's not, English is not her first language, okay? She still has to get, like, command over the language. When she was at LA Sparks, she was like, things kind of, like, people were getting frustrated with me because, like, they would have to, like, really take their time trying to tell her the plays because, again, like, she doesn't have a good command on the English language. It's not her first language, but to me, she sounds pretty fine, right? But, like, Lexi Brown even admitted, like, sometimes she would kind of be harsh in her tone and her words and her demeanor towards Lee Uru. So, again, I'm glad that Lee Uru got away from Lexi Brown up there in the Seattle Storm, okay? It was time for them to get that karma, okay? Lee Uru was out there cooking, moving, and grooving, and she let them know, like, this is what y'all missing. Now let's talk about the Wings, okay? The winners of last night's game. Lee Uru put up 8 points, had 0 assists, 10 rebounds. Nneka Ogwumike was the leading scorer of our team last night. She put up 20 points, had 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Luisa Goldenstoter, I'm going to say Geisenoder. I've been hearing these reports. I swear to God, they said it at 3 different times. I'm so confused. I'm going to just call her Luisa Geisenoder because she is the one who got into it with Nneka Ogwumike. Or should I say rather, Nneka Ogwumike got into it with her. But again, just give me some time. Luisa put up 13 points. She had 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Paige Beckers put up 14 points. She had 6 assists, 4 rebounds. JJ Quinterly, the rookie, had 9 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Isaiah James had 7 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. Haley Jones, okay, she's been proving herself. She put up 10 points, had 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Dijonai Carrington, again, she was getting cooked. She had 4 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Tierney McKellen put up 2 points, had 0 assists, 1 rebound. So again, talking about Dijonai Carrington, last week she talked about how like she's gonna have to come off the bench again. Like some people see it as a punishment. Like she's been gone for so long due to that rib injury. Her girlfriend they done sold her out. Now she at the the Las Vegas Aces, and of course it seems as though there's some tension between not just Dijonai Carrington and Chris Cochran, the head coach of the Wings, but also just all the players. Seem like they're looking at him crazy. At some points we see Paige Beckers literally walk off from Chris Cochranis in mid-sentence, right? So this is what Dijonai Carrington had to say. This when it comes to her last week, she did an interview being in that starting 5 lineup position, right? So she said this: "It's definitely an adjustment. It was hard for me just being that the whole point of me coming to Dallas was to expand my role," Carrington said per Clutch Points Joey Mistretta. "So I feel like not that coming off the bench means it's diminished, but sort of in a sense a little bit. But I've come off the bench before in my career. Whenever I'm out there, but what you're going to get from me." So again, that's what she's had to say. Her sentiments is like, she came to Dallas to expand her role, and now because like she's been out for like a month, it seems like I'm pretty sure it's been a freaking month, right? Because of that rib injury, and now it's like her role is now diminished. She continues, "I kind of just try to keep that mindset," Carrington added, "and this isn't me being personal towards any player who has been put into that starting lineup over me or whatever you want to call it. This is just how I feel personally about myself and my career." So Eze Macberger had 12 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. Gabby Williams put up 14 points, had 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Nneka Ogwumike was the leading scorer of both teams, okay? She put up 22 points, had 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Tiffany Mitchell only put up 2 points, had 1 assist, 0 rebounds again. Shout out to Tiffany Mitchell. Dawn Staley calls her one of her first newborns, pretty much, if you will. But Tiffany Mitchell just got cut from the Las Vegas Aces, and now you come into the Storm, and all you got is 2 points and 29 minutes played. Tiffany, you in danger, girl. That's all I'm going to say. Now, Erica Wheeler only put up 4 points, had 2 assists, 7 rebounds. Lexi Brown had 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, okay? Alicia Clark, she had 0 points. Zaya Cook had 7 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Y'all better be glad that Skylar Diggins is, taking care of what she got to take care of, off the court and personal reasons, personal matters, because I'm sure if she was at that game, I'm not sure if I saw her on the bench, she would cuss all of them out. Now, Nneka Ogwumike, people would describe her as being a pros, okay? She's very professional. She's one of the presidents, I believe if not the president, of the WNB PCA, okay? It's like, a committee for, that, voices the concerns and, like, negotiates deals, like the current CBA deal. Okay, that's what they do for the WNBA players, right? Nneka Ogwumike is the president. You never hear about Nneka playing dirty, being very aggressive, getting, like, fouls called on her. But she also doesn't get a lot of fouls drawn upon her, if that makes sense, right? So in last night's game, we see my Dallas Wings player, Luisa Geisensoder. She did push Nneka Ogwumike in the back first, okay? Nneka Ogwumike, the refs saw it, they didn't care. So Nneka Ogwumike said, "I got to get my lick back." She literally wraps her arms around Luisa's waist. Again, I don't condone this, but I understand it. And, like, pretty much just puts her on her neck. She body slams her, makes her kiss the floor. And then, like, what was so crazy about it was, like, the body language. We're not used to seeing Nneka Ogwumike cut up and get out of character like that. Like, she literally, like, stood over here and was like, what's up now? What you gonna do now? What's good, Miley? What's good? I mean, everybody's like, whoa. JJ Quinterly of the Dallas Wings literally pushed Nneka Ogwumike. Like, what you doing? You need to chill and calm down. Calm all that down. It was a mess, okay? So, finally, the refs were reviewing it. They had, like, a little pause game break. They were reviewing the whole, play. Luisa Goldensider was able to get some free throws at the line. But again, Nneka Ogwumike got sat down for the rest of that 1 minute and 49 seconds of the third quarter, and she re-injured in the fourth quarter. But again, that was just so crazy to watch Nneka, the president, get out of hand like that. I'm just glad the Dallas Wings beat the Seattle Storm at their home court. Nneka Ogwumike ain't nothing to play with.